Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is SCC, and tonight we're going through the round 9 review. And as you can see, it was a pretty good round for me considering how it started. Especially, I honestly cannot believe I was able to score this well in the end. To be honest, after having got home to the Thursday night game and having Hewitt on sub, I just thought it was going to be one of those weeks where I took a step backwards with the scoring and the rank. But somehow the teams pulled out an absolutely amazing score, like 296 for the round. And just really, really happy with the score and excited to keep going. We also climbed 6,558 ranks, which shows like how much of an outlier this score really was, because by the looks of that, like a lot of teams in the top 10,000 struggled a bit. And yeah, I'm just pretty happy with that, and pretty happy to keep going from here now, because that's the test now, to keep going. We've got a decent team value, a lot of trades left. Only a couple of issues on field that we need to figure out, but otherwise, like, things have really fallen our way. And to say, when I was, round 2 ranked 90,000, I think it was, I really didn't think I'd be able to get anywhere near the top 10,000. I thought top 10,000 might be, able to be done, but I didn't think I'd be able to do it this fast. I thought it might be by the end of the season, when trades have run out, and if there's some injuries that players going down, then I might be able to, crawl my way back up to maybe a top 10,000 finish. But to be at 6,200 now at round 9 is, pretty exciting, because I don't think I've ever actually been at this position come this round. And a lot of things have fallen my way, I think, with other premiums, with some injuries to some key players and that I didn't have. And also I think that, like, training really aggressively, I've done really, really well on, like, putting the right rookies on field at the right time. I think that's been something that's really helped. And to think, like, I'd say my captain average would not be that great. Like, I did have a good score this year, but I've had, an 105 from Bont, and I think, like, 110 from Gordon, although a lot of people had the 110 last week. But, like, I did not expect to increase, my ranking score from last week. Because, like, when I first opened this up, I went, only went up 3,000 spots, and then I was like, wait, I'm not 296, and then I looked at the season rank and went, oh shit, I've gone up 6,500. So really excited. But, like, this is like half the luck of Supercoach. Like, you can make all the right calls, and there'd be a lot of people who've made, better starting teams and probably made the right calls, you would think. Like, I've probably had to take a bit more risk that has paid off. And I think there's a lot of, like, luck that comes into this. But just really happy to have been able to get back to this position and actually be able to maybe attack a top 1,000 finish would be great. But really happy to be top to 6,000. I'd love to get inside the top 5,000. Haven't ever really been there. And pretty excited to see. So let's see how the team actually went, so you can see where this score really came from. So, the trades this week were Ryan in, which I just felt like was a must with his break even and the fixture coming up, and also the price he was already at. I decided to cut loose Power, which, he scored a 70, I guess. The only skill per player that didn't outscore him was Reed. And I guess Reed had money to make, whereas Power didn't. And then I traded him down to Jones, which wasn't a great score, but you expect a down game every now and then from a rookie. And I also traded who else was it I traded? I traded who was the other trade? Let's have a look. where is it? Oh, it's in history. So my team history. And we traded Roberts. So yeah, we went early on Roberts, which, well, not really early. I think the break even was kind of telling, because if he went bad, he was going down money, and I was kind of like, well, he's not a primo, so I might as well just get rid of him and upgrade the rookie, and I did, and yeah, probably lost points because he would have played if Hewitt was sub, but at the same time, got him, and he went like a 40 this week. So that was probably like 60 or so points I probably gained on people who had to field him, which was probably due to like other reasons such as injuries last week. So I got pretty lucky there. And yeah, he had 111. Like I got on the end of that like Ryan super scoring where he goes like 50 and a quarter, even if it's dead. And you know, like I probably got a bit more of appreciation for Ryan's game. Like, and you'll probably say it's biased because I have him now, but like even like watching him like the past couple of weeks, like you could see that he was like what his role was in the team as a super coach like player, and where his points were coming from and why he kept scoring so well, and he could go really big scores over a quarter just because of the way Fremantle played. And I was probably against like the Fremantle game plan, but with that not looking like changing, like it's just something that really we had to just jump on and stop being, you know, losing these points, and it worked out well. Martin had a down game, and like he's only 25% owned, so obviously not what you really want to see, but yeah, he'll bounce back. This is probably one of his lower scores this year, and I'm sure he'll be able to get things together. Sheasel being played all over the place, probably lucky to get to 86. And yeah, really happy to have him still. I don't think I'm going to trade him. Like, I just think it's a backwards trade. It doesn't really achieve anything unless you can get 2 upgrades out of it. But with only like 1 boost left, I'm not really sure it's worth it anyway. McGovern. So this was one of those like unlucky but lucky things. So like, unluckily, he was on 90 at halftime. So this could have been like a 150. Which is annoying because like there's more, you know, he's a pod, and you know that Collingwood were playing kind of like how I thought they would, like bombing it in a little bit to a forward line that I guess doesn't really have that big key forward presence, which probably makes it easier for McGovern. And yeah, so he was on 90, got injured on like 96. I think he landed on his ribs, so it wasn't a concussion. I think it was his ribs. And he ended up just keeping on scaling with the game. I think it was just because he was so far ahead. He scaled like 14 points without being on the field, which is weird, but I'll take it. But yeah, one of those things that just seems like an inconsistency. Like, how can a player go up? I feel like they should just like stand still when they're not on the, like not go up or down. It should just be like, okay, that's the lock score for them. And then the points work it out around that. But yeah, strange, but we'll take it. Nas had a good game, so like, you know, probably thought he had a good chance against Hawthorn. He started off a little bit slow, but he worked into it and got to a 113, so we were very happy with that. And McKerch is looking like one of those decisions we got right, where we held him even though the role had kind of changed, and it really worked out well. Like we lost money to start with. I think he went to 240, and he's now gone up like 130 in 2 weeks. So, or 3 weeks. So pretty happy with that. And he's kind of like kind of poddish. I don't know how many people, a few people did trade him in last week. The ones probably had less issues. So he's in 1 and 3 teams. So not heaps poddy, but like really good to have and really good to be able to play on field, because he just is like 90 to 100 minimum with the role he's got. So that's good. And then Tom Brown, like, had a good 76. Like, at least that's going to keep his money going. He's probably got a low break even now, so he can kind of probably make another 30, 40 grand and reevaluate when he gets into the 300. So that's great, because we got him at 200, which at the time was like overpaying, but now feels good because he kind of scores well. Richmond have a lot of injuries, so I think he's pretty safe. And he does have a decentish role for Richmond, where he actually got some kickouts. So, yeah, really happy to have Brown. And I feel like this defense is really going to change. The only thing is if McGovern's out for a while, I might have to think about what I want to do with him. I think that's the hard decision I'm going to have to come up with because I want to keep moving forward with the team. But I just don't really know what to do. Sarong 150, so he was going to be our Fiji. So we lost 15 points there. So that's a bit annoying, but, really minimal. Dacos, really good game. Like, probably should have gone for him as a captain. He's probably safer with Bont. Probably more likely to just take it easy against the Tigers if they did get ahead. But I always, Bont's always played really well against Richmond. And Dacos 147. Like, it's pretty funny to think you got 3 players in your midfield that's went better than your captain, because then Dawson had a huge game, huge last quarter. He was on 90 in the third and pumped that up to another 50 points in the fourth. And yeah, as I said, I went to the game again today. He's playing that same role, like starting forward, letting Rankin go in the midfield, which works great for my team as well. And then moves into the midfield afterwards. And yeah, just played really, really well. Like there was, this score, he had a big mark, probably should have been paid in the square, goal square, and he would have kicked a goal as well. If he kicked the goal at the end to win the game, like this could have been a 160. And he just looked pretty good, like getting on the end of it. And it was like good like this was a good midfield comp. It was really good to watch. Like there was so much competition going on in the midfield. Like Crouch v Berry was a really good battle to watch. Neil was on Dawson, and then you had what's his name? Right, not Brayshaw. What's his name? The old Western Bulldogs player. Anyway. You had Laird versus him. I can't believe I've forgotten what his name is. Brisbane. Wise. Oh, Dunkley. Yeah, Dunkley, top of the list there. But yeah, you had Dunkley versus Laird, and it was like really, really good footy to watch, them battling it out. Umpiring was pretty atrocious. I think, they want to get rid of sling tackles, but they make players hold onto players way too long. The only way to stop them from getting it out is to getting them to the ground, and if they're not going down or umpires aren't calling it early enough, then they're having to sling them a little bit. So that was all right. It was a draw, so a good game to be at. Wish we'd won, but I think we made a few mistakes, especially at the end of the third when we let them kick 2 goals. But it was good to get back and get at least 2 points. Took, as we said in the post-match conference for North, he was the North v Gold Coast game. He's the most consistent, I feel, out of the Gold Coast midfielders, and was happy that he went big because he just seems to always try pretty hard. Holding Tom Green off the ankle looks to be fine. He scored 116. If you don't have Tom Green, probably look at him soon because probably you don't have to look at him next week. I assume his break-even's still high. But the week after could be really nice. You probably get him for like under 500k, which is pretty wild because he probably has like 120 upside. Yeah, Hugh at the sub. So this is probably the biggest downer of this team. Like in the end, I only really lost 26 points, either with Rogers or Garcia. But it's really frustrating that I just missed that because that's could be precious points. Closey. So the decision was to be made. I was thinking to go Garcia just because he's on 65 and just banking it, but I just went with Closey because a lot of the comp was on Closey on field, and there's still quite a big ownership, and that worked out well as well. Gorn obviously a little bit unders, but 111 is great. Meek, so 125 in a week where a lot of the popular arcs didn't go great. So Sherry, English both had down weeks. Sweet didn't play. And we got a good game out of Meek. And he just looks to be getting better and better. And he's got Sweet this week. So, they're both really good for hit outs. So, yeah, kind of don't mind it as a matchup. And would be good to see what happens there. He's just playing like Heaney. Like, everyone's got him pretty much. Just lock him there and don't need to worry about him too much. Landers got a great backline role. Love the role. Just keeping on scoring and yeah. Don't really have to worry about him in the forward line. Rankin, so great game for Rankin. We finally got a big spike game. He's challenged. He's had a few hundreds this year. I think everyone's going to start looking at bringing him in, which is annoying. Yep, 2%. So my pod's not necessarily a pod anymore. Whether people are going to want to bring him in will be interesting. I wonder what the projected. So break even 65. He's probably going to go 90 anyway. So yeah, probably only going to get the 11 grand. But yeah, good to be on the end of a good game, because I thought the Brisbane game maybe he might struggle, but he looks really good. Really sharking everything. Really, I think there's definitely been a little bit of switch in his work ethic, especially around the ball. Like, he's really trying to get himself free, really putting in the effort to tackle and putting on a show. He kicked a few goals, which, a couple of them he might have been a bit lucky, but he did work pretty hard around the ground. So sometimes you get a bit of luck when you're playing hard, and that's what happened for him. Reed, so probably one I'm thinking about putting on the trade block. I think I said it kind of like last week. I was thinking about it. Be interesting to see. Yeah, 90% of trading him out, or have got him on the block, which I think's fine because his break even's now 134. So we might as well cash him in. I just don't know what forward to go to. I think that's where like a lot of people are going Rankin, because it's like pretty cheap. It's only 80k, so you can do that in a 1 up, 1 down really easy, and then have cash for next week. So yeah, but I don't know what I'm going to do, who I'm going to get for Reed. Maybe it's Jackson, but I'm thinking Reed and Hewitt are going to go. I'll keep Closey for one more week, and then hopefully Wilson gets me a good score. I'm a bit worried about Darcy though as well, because he had like the Tigers, who were pretty bad. The Dogs have GWS this week, which feels like a pretty rough game for Darcy. And my loop on field is also with Darcy, so they play at the same time, so that sucks. So I have to go one of them. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything there to kind of make that work, but he's got money to make, so I'm going to hold him still. Yeah, and I think the 134 is getting pretty high on Reed, especially with the go out. I think it makes it a bit hard for him to kind of free up a bit. St Kilda plays. St Kilda play early. St Kilda plays Sunday, and Dogs play Saturday. So I'll be able to loop Jones at least and see what he gets, and then decide on Wilson. I probably would have. Well, it doesn't really matter. I can't really do anything else there, so we'll go with that. Because the guys here, I don't really want to move. I could move Graham just because I want the money next week, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Darcy had a really good game. Wilson still got a really good role. I didn't watch this game because I was going to the Crows game at the same time. From what I did watch, he was still putting in, but I reckon we cash out now, because he's not, like, as much as we want him to be a keeper, I just don't know. I feel like the drop off will come with Reed, because he doesn't have a role like what Sheasel had, where it was like clear, like kicking from the back line, like easy clean up ball, whereas Reed's is more in the midfield where he can get banged up a little bit more. So in saying that, yeah, really, really good week. Really, really good week, like scoring wise. Go up 6,000 ranks from 12,000 to 6,000 is really, really, really good. I wouldn't have done that very often. Let's just look at this history, because I think it's important to look at this and realize, just because you start off badly doesn't mean you can't salvage things. So yeah, I was ranked 92,778 at round 2. And yep, I did get a pretty good score round 3, and that changed by 40k. But these round 3 to round 6, I really didn't see any real meaningful movement up. Like maybe 9k, 5k, and then bang 10, 10 and 6. So, just because you have a bad start doesn't mean with the trades we got now, you can trade your way out of it. a little bit more than previously. Like probably previous, the aim would be to just work with my trades a bit better and have hopefully have the aggressive plays punished. But like I still got 20 trades left now and one boost, and most of the team's done. And I feel like cash isn't going to be the biggest issue because as long as we get, McKercher can play here for quite a while. We still got Brown here. Graham will hopefully get a game soon. Rogers is making money. Gussie is making money. Sweet's going to make quite a bit of money. And even then, like, I'm pretty happy playing Meek at the moment because he's scoring just as good as the other guys. So probably just going to hold him for a while longer yet. What have we made off Meek? Like 150K this week? Pretty sure we got him around. Let's have a look. Yep, I got him after this game, so we've made 150K off Meek, which is really good. Feels like the Briggs trade from last year, probably not as good because Briggs was like 250, but still very happy because Meek's looking like I can just hold him to buys and then decide on English, Marshall and co. Probably, I don't know, like Marshall's now put himself back in favour again, so fuck knows, man. It's so hard, right? We can talk, like, I just want to also talk about like Supercoach as a whole because it can be a very frustrating game. You can make 99% of the right choice. Like last year, for example, I got Tuke at the bottom price. He was coming into North, who were just ridiculously bad against midfielders. And there wasn't many, the VC option that week was like Dacos early, and I think he had a team that he hadn't really scored well on previously, and he got a big score, and I missed it. Or maybe I went Dacos and he went badly or something like that. And then I went Captain Tuke, and you're thinking this is the right play, and then he injured his knee and had a 40 as my captain score, and it's like, well, there's not much you can do about that, and that's a frustrating thing. You can make all the right decisions and have it go bad, and I've honestly got really lucky. I can sit here and say, obviously there's a bit of judgment that goes into it and watching players and going, I think this is the guy to pick now. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to luck, and a lot of it comes down to luck outside of just picking who's good. So don't beat yourself up if you've had a bad week, or, a player hasn't played up to their standards, because that happens for everyone. And, just because I've had a really good week this week, McGovern's probably out, so I've got to fix that up, which kind of mucks up my upgrade process. Hewitt's going to lose money now. And then, Rankin could have a down game. I could have a down game from Darcy next week, trade out Hewitt, who could come back good, and then have a bit down game from like having to loot McGovern or something. I don't know. Like I could have to be forced to try and take Brown's score for McGovern. So, it's not all lost. I guess I could move Dacos back actually and upgrade my midfield, which is maybe something I'll look at doing, but I'm still not moving forward the team, which is the annoying part in that. So, yeah, just remember, you can make all the right decisions and still get the wrong outcome is probably what I'm saying. But that's the fun of the game. Someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. And when you have a year like this where stuff starts to finally go right, it's good. But you can have years that go really bad. And there's a lot of creators out there trying their best to give you the best info, and sometimes they'll get it wrong. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to make the decision. So don't, necessarily blame us, because end of the day, it's all luck, and we've got about as much knowledge and luck of getting it right as you do. So, it's just good fun to talk about this stuff with people and get around the game. So, I guess we have to all keep that in mind, especially at this season when you feel like you spent a lot of time doing this and may not be working out for you, because that's what I thought at the start of the season when I was ranked 92,000. I was like, fucking hell, why have I spent the last 2-3 weeks just looking at this team constantly to be ranked 90,000? Doesn't feel good. But now when you're ranked 6,000, it feels a little bit better. So, and there's still a long way to go. A couple injuries and Dawson going back to the mean could be really bad, but we're not going to think about that. We're going to think about what's in front of us, and that is what are we going to do. So, sorry for that long-winded chat, but I just thought talk a little bit about it because, this is a bit. I reckon I've been very lucky, to be honest. Good calls, but also pretty lucky that other players haven't scored well. So what are we going to do? At the moment, without knowing what's wrong with McGovern, if McGovern's a 1 weeker, I probably won't trade. If it's more, this is probably what I'm thinking. And with this, I can do really whatever I want. So this doesn't really necessarily move the team up, but it does make it a little bit better. So we have got Merritt versus North, and he feels like the key trade in, especially because he goes North, Richmond, and then even Gold Coast should be an all right match for him. So I'm thinking this is my target, especially because he had 162 against them. Like Richmond, 162, 150, really, really good. So I'm thinking Merritt is in, which leaves us 336k, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do here because I don't really want to move Garcia here, but the best option does seem to be McCullough. I think McCullough's going to get called up because Richmond have got a lot of... Sorry, no double C. Richmond have got a lot of injuries, so I'm thinking McCullough is the guy. He's going to probably come in. Let's have a look at... We'll have a look at his VFL scores, but I don't know who else is there. So there's some others. I got to see Revel. I actually was pretty impressed with him at the start of the game. He was getting a lot of the ball. He worked back pretty hard into defense. He was like very lively for them, especially as a connecting player. But when the game did get a bit tougher, he did seem to fade out a little bit. Like I didn't notice him as much, so he's one. And there's also Sullivan. But Collingwood supporters are saying to be wary because they have Mitchell and DeGoey coming back, so not as sure about Sullivan. Let's have a look at who else has played less than 3. Now, Joe Richards played really well. I did like that. I thought he was very good, so he could be worth a pick next week. But I don't even know how I fit him in there, to be honest, because I could move him mid-forward up, I guess, but Fraser, like the problem with going Merritt now is it's leaving my forward line a bit bleak. Sorry, going McCullough, sorry. So then it's like, what can I get at this level? So players I can afford. Is there anything here that I could realistically look at? Now, one sticking out to me straight away is McRae, because he played really well today. Hits a few goals, but he has got this weird forward line role, and Collingwood have been happy to drop him. So not necessarily who I want to go. Do I bring Sexton back in? That's a potential because people were talking about bringing McKercher in and Sexton had the same role. So I really don't mind this as well. Gold Coast next team games are... What do we got? Geelong, Carlton, Essendon. So there'll be a lot of the ball back there. Like these are hard games. Let's have a look at 73, 63, 47, 82. But I really don't want to pick him because they've dropped him a bit as well. What's the money look like? Does it show it down here? No, it doesn't. Season stats. He looks like making another 50k. So, but that's with pretty low projected scores. So this could be like another 100k pretty easily. So I don't mind Sexton, but that only leaves me with what? 113k. So something else that I don't love. We'll change the price now down to like 250. Jackson Mead had a really good game, but I'd rather go Sexton. Garcia's more expensive. Reef had a good game, but I don't like his job security. Frazier's probably good for next week. Gallagher, same kind of. I'd probably just rather Sexton the 10k more. Sonsi, same thing. Revel is good, but I don't like his job security as well. Although they've got a lot of injuries, so that's probably not as bad. And then down from there, it's like not much else. So this doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I really need a forward. So the only other thing I could do is miss Merritt. Or I keep Reed. So we keep Reed and we think about someone else to trade. 524. Now, who was I getting? Merritt. So I need to get 100k at least. So I don't really want to do this, but for my structure, it feels like maybe the best thing to do, which would possibly be trading Graham early. I don't like that. I don't really want to do it, but it could be something I have to do. So if I go Merritt, why? Oh, that's why. And then I could get McAuliffe. And that leaves me 54k. Still got Reed on field. Still got Reed on field. Let's optimize this. Okay. So what's happened here? We got Meek. I don't know why, because you're not playing. What's it done? It's just moved Dacos and McKercher around pretty much. When do these guys play? So North play Essendon, so that's good. And they play Sunday, so that means I get a free look at Tom Brown. But I need to put McKercher here so that I don't lose the loop. Actually, it's fine because I got Martin as the midfield defender swap. So yeah, I don't mind this, although I think McCullough's got quite a good potential to make money. So I think the two choices are going this and then trading keeping Closey, or I trade McAuliffe and then trade Reed and I get Sexton instead. So Sexton's probably quicker money, which I wouldn't mind. Like, McCullough's going to need 3 or 4 weeks at least to make money, whereas Sexton could be an easy flip in like 2 or 3. Like 1 to 2 even. Like, if he goes 2 quick hundreds, like, probably could just bank 300 to 100 and then like 300k down to 117k, take the like 200k and put it on a player. Because like Closey's going to be close soon. I probably can just keep McKercher for a while. It's just the forward line. Like, what are we doing? I really want Merritt this week. Like, I don't want to miss Merritt. So it's like, what do we got in the forward line that we can kind of go to? So that's what we're going to look at. Some targets in the forward line quickly. So really, we got Zorko, who I don't like because of his injuries, although he has Richmond coming up. So you could sway me. Tell you what, you could sway me. Or Richmond and Hawthorn. Do like. And then more. Reed and Kern I don't love. Jackson's still up there, even though he's playing pretty badly. This has just been slowly sliding. So, and Caldwell was actually quite impressive. So forward line's still an absolute bloody mess. And it's like, who do you get? Who are people getting? Honestly, who do we have any like actual, decision making regarding who to get? Because like Power could be coming back into this team just because of, or even Fisher. I could go Fisher. Ugh, that doesn't feel good though, does it? Not at all, because I always talk crap about him as well. I think this is one I'm going to have to do some thinking about, because there is nothing in this forward line. It's probably like Jackson or Zorko. I'm hoping that Wilson keeps his role for a while so we can just get him as a mid forward. We really need some forwards. Like, is Dawson going to get forward status with the little bit of forward line he's playing? I don't really think so because it's not that much. Let's go have a look at McCullough quickly and see how he went in the VFL. Nope, this is wrong. Player summary. Round 7, he had 25 with 10 tackles. That was this week, right? That was today. Good fantasy. I'll just double check this. I think that's right though. Fixture. Yeah, Coburg. So that was that was last week. Here we go. They lost the Dogs. Crap. Maybe I was wrong there. Fuck, Sanders had 42. My God, get him back in the team. So he did have 25. 42. Surely he's getting a call up. 42. 30 handballs. That would be an all right forward line play, to be honest, but I just don't know how he gets his role, and I don't know how he doesn't go as sub. I reckon he's got money to lose as well. Sanders. He's got money to lose, doesn't he? Yeah, 19.6k, 107 break even. Surely he's got to get a run soon, Sanders. 42 disposals and a goal. God. McCullough kicked 2 goals, 1. Jesus. Yeah, I think McCullough's coming back in next week, and I'd like to have him because I think he's going to make money, and I think Richmond are going to have to start blooding these players. So anyway, this has given me a little bit to think about, but this could all change with McGovern being out. Although it's probably just going to mean that McGovern comes to here, and then I trade McGovern. That becomes Merritt. Dacos up here, and then I could do it that way. So, which I don't mind. Like, if Hewitt loses some money, it's not the end of the world, but I'd rather not. But anyway, that's something for me to think about. So it's been a little bit of dribble on these trades so far. I'm probably not real helpful for your teams. But as always, we'll probably do a video sometime this week to go through that kind of stuff. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to all of the new subscribers on the channel. If you're watching still and you haven't subscribed, please give us a subscribe. Really appreciate people who subscribe to the channel. Just shows that these videos are interesting to you and worth making. Thanks for all the support on the videos over the weekend. I think 420 views is the best I've ever done. I think that was 400 or so, which was on last night's video, which is good to see. Leave us a like if you also enjoyed the video. And yeah, just hit that subscribe, and hopefully we can keep building this channel into something a bit more, and follow along because we've already started the climb, and we want to continue and hopefully get a top 1,000. Because what are we on? We are, let's have a look. We're 19,186. So how far are we behind? And I think we probably got 100 or so points on a lot of teams this week. We're 1,000 points behind. So we're not getting a win. This team's doing pretty well, but I still got like 140 points on him this week. So that's like, I mean, achievable, but what's the top 1,000? Like top 100. Well, I'm only probably 500 points out of this, so we could do it. Surely there's a quicker way. We need a better ranking system. There probably is a better ranking video somewhere. Sorry, page somewhere. So what are we? We're 400-ish points. 400 probably 300 points out. So that is very achievable. Sorry, just click the first team. Sorry for exposing you here. Actually, McRae could be one. I don't mind McRae because it looks like he might be getting a better role. A bit rough for this team. They've held Rosie, which probably is the right decision here. But anyway, so what? 19,506, 19,506. We're 91,886. So only 300 points out from that top 1,000. I reckon we can get there. Let's aim for that. But this is going to be pretty telling going forward. So need these pods to keep firing. So without saying any more, this has been a long video, but a bit of a celebration, to be honest, because I didn't expect this score, as I said. So I'd like to thank you all if you got to the end of this. Appreciate your viewing time, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.